everybody. Welcome to the podcast where we motivate, inspire, and drive with stories from entrepreneurs from around the country. That's right, folks. Straight from their mouths to your ears, this is Hustle City, USA.
What's up, America? It's the Texas Real Estate Dude, and it's Hustle Talk time here at Hustle City, USA. I'm in the chair and on the mic along with my special guest host today, Mrs. Cheryl Powell, your happy realtor. Cheryl, how in the hell are you doing today?
I'm doing fantabulous.
Fantabulous. I like that today. What's been going on in your world?
Man, I'm busy, helping people get into homes, showing homes, writing contracts, negotiating, loving every minute of it.
So, but that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Isn't that your job description?
That is my job description.
That's awesome. So you're part of the JLA Realty team, is that correct?
That's correct.
You know, I was looking today, and we've had a couple interviews today, and I'm glad that we've had a couple back-to-back here. And I was looking for some things to talk about as we kick off this next interview, and I came across this great article entitled 7 Steps to Building an Inspired Team That Achieves Amazing Results. When I read that, I immediately thought of JLA Realty. Well, how's that resonate with you, Cheryl?
It sounds like JLA. Everything that we are. I mean, we are an inspiring team, an inspiring company to work for. We're out there changing lives.
And let's play a game. Let's have fun with this. So 7 steps to building an inspired team. What's number 1?
Be positive.
No. Give me another answer.
What is number 1?
What might be on the list? It doesn't have to be the first one.
Be yourself.
No.
Boy, I'm not playing
I'm
this
just
game
making
very
this
well.
tough for you. How about number 1 is actually ignite passion.
Okay.
Okay, would you agree with that one? We do that one around
agree.
here, don't we? JLA Realty does that. Let's look what else in here. Nurture self-belief. So let's believe in yourself. That's what you were saying,
Yep.
of course. And show what's possible. You do that a lot when showing houses, I would think, right?
Absolutely.
I know it's for Micah now, but it could very easily be granted if you'd get off your wallet, right? You ever say that? I talk to my clients that way. That's probably why I don't do as well.
I paint a
as you
picture.
do.
I know how to paint a picture.
Provide purpose. That's a good one. Invite participation. That's some of what we're doing at Hustle City. We're inviting entrepreneurs to come out and talk to us on the show about what they do, what they're doing in the community, and what's worked and what's not worked for them. Recognize achievement and empower your teams. I think Mr. Alltech does really good at that one. I think that really encompasses the JLA culture a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
What else would you add to inspiring teams?
Your motivation for getting up every day. I mean, we could go back to the passion, but your motivation for getting up every day and going out there and doing what you do. When you get rejected, when things don't work out, when it doesn't work out as it was planned, you've got that motivation that keeps you moving. That determination that doesn't allow you to give up no matter what.
So inspired teams, and it makes me think of family type businesses sometimes, because the whole family has to be inspired and believing in the goal in order to establish that family business. And I'm kind of a history buff, and when I think back, there used to not be corporate America. There used to not be big business as we know today, and Dad might have been the wagon maker who passed that on to his son, who passed that trade on to his son, or they were the local barrel maker family, or what's the word I'm looking for? The guy that builds the coffins. What do you call those guys? The funeral guy. There's a
coffin builder.
I don't know exactly. But anyway, rolling forward on family businesses, today we have Anthony Reed with Reed Sprinkler Systems with us today. Anthony, how are you doing today? Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, I'm doing well. Super excited to be here. Things are going great. Getting ready for the deer season.
Getting ready for hunting. Everybody's getting out to the deer lease, I see. Are there a lot of deer in Texas? How many deer in Houston? I don't think there's a lot, are there?
There are deer everywhere.
Can you shoot them in Houston or just run over them? We're such a car city.
Just run over them.
Just run
That's
over
the only
them.
legal thing.
Those poor deer. I see them sometimes in the back of the neighborhood there. So Reed Sprinklers, you guys cover Houston Metroplex or pretty much Northeast Houston?
Yeah, we cover the Humble, Porter, Kingwood, this general north Houston, northeast
area, just north of Beltway 8.
Right. We've traveled as far as Cypress for a sprinkler install, but with the travel time and converting through Houston traffic is
travel time will kill you in this city a lot.
Yeah.
I know I watched that for my real estate practice myself. Early on, I would drive anywhere. I tend not to do that as much. It's better to have referral partners and things across town. So you were telling me before we sit down today, Reed Sprinklers is a family business. Your father established this, or no?
Way back in, it was 2.5 years ago. I was in between careers, and I was in a pivotal moment in my life where I was lost and not in a good state of mind. But my dad motivated me and helped get this started with getting the paperwork and everything like that. And he's the one that actually taught me how to do the sprinkler systems a while back, and lo and behold, I mean, it's just one after another, one put in front of the other. After I got that first job and the satisfaction and everything that came with it, motivated me to try and get another one.
So your father, let me make sure I understand, he was not in the sprinkler business, but he sort of helped you get established, and now it's completely, you run it, you're the day-to-day operations. Do you have other staff? Do you have a brother that helps you, or is it's just Anthony?
It's just me for now. The goal and plan is to get past that first growing pain, and which next year the plan is to get started first of the year and be set for that. I've been training people and just trying to get over that hump of it, so I'm not handling all the stuff that comes with it.
Right.
Because I mean,
it
can be overwhelming.
Shop, you've got all the marketing.
Yes,
you're doing interviews like you're doing today. Plus, you've got to go out and do the work as well.
Networking,
and keep the truck on the road and the networking. Absolutely. So, do you guys do commercial as well, or just residential?
We've done a couple commercial through referrals of my networking group that I'm involved in. Is B&I over here in Tasceta, called the Winter Circle.
Sure.
But mainly residential, the new build subdivisions, that homes that do not have sprinklers.
Right.
Homeowners,
do you do service as well, or no?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do repairs, reroutes. I mean, if you believe your water bill is too high, most likely there's going to be a leak in the system. Where you call us, we can come out there and we can run through the system and check all the heads and adjust anything that needs to be adjusted and diagnose any problems that may arise.
Well, I know a lot of times in my real estate practice, I've had inspection reports come back, and there's been problems with sprinkler systems. Cheryl, you ever run into any of that? No?
Not too much.
Not too much. They're always operable.
They are.
You sell the nice
products.
I told you they're handpicked.
Must be the ones Reed Sprinklers did.
So, but you do go out and you could do the repairs. Like I know you're really active in the real estate community, like our previous guest just was. So, if those realtors were to call on you and say, "Hey, I've got these issues with a client," or you would like those kind of referrals and calls, is that correct?
Most definitely. It's when I was first introduced to John Outtake and this wonderful team of his, and I've seen the value from the start, and I've been watching them grow. Back before they had over 100 realtors, now almost 300.
About 300, I believe.
I mean, it's amazing, and I told John this personally that I promised to him and his real estate team that if they call me on a repair, I'll put them on the top and high priority list to take care of their clients, their customers, and their agents.
The JLA folks would love to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to have a professional within our grasp that the agents can easily reach out to that knows
Exactly.
their trade well. So tell us a little bit about day to day with reed sprinklers. What's a day look like?
Let's paint a picture on this one. Okay.
I mean, you don't sleep till noon or anything like the Texas real
No,
estate.
no, no, not at all. It's funny. I stay up late, not always working, but to get everything done and whatnot, and planning takes up a lot of the time throughout. But put it like this: I stay up late because I hate to see the day end, but I wake up early because I'm excited for the day to begin.
That's awesome.
You bring up a very good point there, and what I hear in that is, sometimes for entrepreneurs we spend 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever it is, actually running our business, but then you have to capture those extra hours to be planning, to be thinking, to be conceiving the next things you need to be doing. And then, of course, you got to capture some downtime in there, and sometimes those have to be the off hours from all the other things
Right.
you're doing.
And that's what I'm excited about this deer season, because sit there in that deer stand in mother nature's country, out there just.
So wait, you're taking some time off? That's
Oh yeah, the weekends and whenever I can.
Have you been hunting already this season?
No, I don't bow hunt anymore due to temptations of old habits back in the day.
Right.
So I just stick to a gun. Rifle season, plus it's too hot in early October to be.
So rifle season's just starting this
Yeah,
weekend?
opening weekend is tomorrow.
Oh wow. How far is your deer lease from here?
It's 75.6 miles, not to be exact, but it's just east of Livingston by the Big Thicket National Reserve
I've
Forest.
actually
Yeah.
been to
Yeah.
that park. That's a nice park.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country. The Piney Woods is where I've always hunted, and
How do you shoot a deer through all those pine trees?
very carefully. No, that's a good question. It's a lot of like shooting lanes. Like you're
Right.
hunting, a little road or a little path that you cleared out most likely. And like the rifle I use, the old 30-30 Marlin, has the lever action, the old cowboy gun.
Right.
Back in the day, that's one that they recommend for shooting through. Like if it's gonna hit a little leaves or something on a tree,
It's
it's
gonna
not
stay
gonna.
true.
It's gonna stay true.
Huh. I'm actually not much of a hunter myself. I like to eat, but I don't like to go out and inquire it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work because then you got to drag it back to camp and all that stuff.
Well,
right?
yeah, and I mean the preparation alone is hard work. It isn't easy,
Right.
and in order to enjoy things in life, you're gonna have. It takes
gotta
a
put in
value
extra
of a
effort.
measurement of effort and time.
Right. right.
I mean, I don't know, it's amazing. My family,
The
I'm
whole
lucky.
family's hunters. And
Yeah,
everything?
my mom's the biggest deer killer in the family.
That's
She's
awesome.
yeah.
Now, Cheryl, you're kind of outdoorsy. Do you hunt
Love
as
the
well?
outdoors. I have yet to go hunting.
Yeah. Not at all fish or anything.
Well, I love to fish.
Right.
Love to fish.
You know, there's a
anytime
fine
I
line
can.
between fishing and just standing on the shore.
True. Hunting, I really don't know that I could sit still that long.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
problem
not.
I have.
That
with it.
doesn't work well with me.
Plus, you guys start super early, right? Like at daybreak or something.
Yeah,
and-
That I could do, but sitting still,
Well, yeah, that's a problem with a lot of people. But we normally get into the stands around 30 minutes before daylight, and then we stay in the stands till dark. But we do two different hunts
Right.
to space it out instead of sitting in a box for 12 hours.
Right. So bring us back to, I think you were saying earlier, reed sprinkler's been around about 2.5 years. Is that
Yeah.
how long you've been established?
Yeah, when we started, or when I first established it, it was in midsummer, 2.5 years ago.
Mhm.
which was a bad time to start sprinkler business.
Right.
And I didn't have any luck on it, any bites or any jobs from it that year. But it was the following year in January, Miss Dana Holland, I'll never forget her name. She's just, you know, it's amazing how it all transpired. But she called me and was like, sprinkler estimate? I was like, that's been a while. And then she held on to that flyer for 6 months, and 45 minutes later, sold my first job, and that's what.
So that says to me, though, that you spent a season planting seeds, and then
Right.
those started to produce fruits, and obviously you didn't get discouraged in that time. You kept trying to move forward before landing that first install. Is that correct?
Yeah, consistency is key with anything in life, not just work, but you know, the way you carry yourself and way you're looked at is based off, you know, consistency and, you know, how you present yourself on a regular basis. I mean,
Sure. So, and I didn't know summer wouldn't be a good time. I guess the ground's too hard and stuff. But is there a season for what you do? A preferred season?
yeah, like the springtime, when it starts weather changing and it's warming up, that's when you start fertilizing it, and you're planting your flowers and flower beds, and the heat causes, you know, the ground, the grass and flowers, bushes to be watered.
Right.
That's high demand in summertime. It's almost impossible here in Houston, Texas, to keep your grass green without a regular sprinkler system, because it's hard to do it.
So when we're talking pre-show, and you just mentioned fertilizer, there's some kind of contraption you were telling me about that blends in the fertilizer. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's based for fertilizer. It's called the Easy Flow injection fertilizer injection system. That is, and but more importantly, with the mosquito problem we have here in this area.
No, seriously, right? Really?
yeah,
Mosquitoes? No.
Right. We don't have mosquitoes. We have mosquitoes.
Right.
That's good.
But yeah, it's a 1.5 gallon reservoir that has a leader line that's tapped into the sprinkler system after the backflow preventer, so it doesn't go back into your water line that goes into the house.
Right.
You can then put the fertilizer in there, and every time the system kicks on, it shoots in fertilizer, a certain amount, set amount that you have it set for. But the big seller is pesticide mosquito control. You can put it, fill it up. I got Mr. Jimmy Bryant with Bryant Pest Control to handle that part, because I'm not licensed to do such. I can put it there and he can fill it up.
I was going to ask you about that. So in Houston, or maybe everywhere, I'm not sure, but you've got to be licensed to do what you do, the install of sprinkler systems.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Seems like you gotta be licensed to walk down the street.
Well,
sometimes,
the state likes to collect their fees.
They're gonna get theirs for sure.
So the system for the fertilization and for the pesticide and pest control, mosquitoes and stuff, can you retrofit that onto existing systems?
Exactly.
Or is that
Yeah,
only
it's
new install?
just a tap in, tie into it. It's relevantly easy. Like for saying, it's not a big construction. It's just a one spot, digging it up and installing the reservoir underground.
So the reservoir goes underground too, so it's not unsightly or
it's
anything.
like in one of those water meter boxes in front or at the streets.
Right.
You just put it in there and open the lid, and you have access to everything you need.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That seems like that'd be a great value add for your customers. Seems like,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a couple avenues you can go. You can go for the new installs, or you can go retrofit older systems that are out there. Is that correct?
Right. And I was learning about this through a good friend of mine and mentor, and he told me about it because he had one for his house. I was like, I never heard about it, which made me, brought me back to reality of always trying to move forward and learn more about what you do and and keep growing from there.
Right.
So the sky's the limit with just anything, not just what I do, sprinklers and drains and stuff. That's with anything as well.
Well, and what I heard out of that was that through a chance conversation, you learned about something new in your industry, and then you brought that in to make that available for your customers to keep growing your business and to provide more services.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about, so you've been operating 2.5 years. The first 6 months, you were just planting seeds. Was there ever a struggle story? Did you think, man, I don't know if I can do this, or what's going on, or why can't I get a client, or had it been pretty much smooth sailing for you?
There's about a few times every hour that I thought it was over a day. I mean, being an entrepreneur is challenging. Everything is up and down. It's like a roller coaster, but your ups and downs over time, if you look at the scale, it's a straight line progressing up.
Absolutely, that's a great
but
analogy.
if you look at it from day to day, you're like doing a bunch of M's, we're saying.
So what keeps you motivated during those troughs in the chart, so to speak?
The number one thing I like is the networking, building relationships. Like JLA, for instance, is like prime example for me. To be able to go hang out, get to learn about somebody else and know them on a personal and business level,
Mm-hmm.
and gain that trust and it's help each other out. Givers gain is the philosophy my networking group has. If I give business to you, well, in return, you'd like to give business back to me.
Absolutely.
Like, how can I help you?
And I give referrals for lunch. I don't need much. A free lunch here, free lunch there.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Sure. What about you? Do you have any referrals? Do you like to refer out to? Do you guys know each other or no?
Yes.
Yes. Been following her on Facebook for like the longest time, and then we finally, I don't know, a couple months back, we ran into each other. I try to drop by the JLA office at least twice a week, 3 times a week, just to show my face and say hi to the folks.
Right. And you mentioned B&I. It makes me think. Do you know Terry Green as well? Our genius, tyrannical instigator of sound, insurance broker guy.
Yeah, and
he's a big
say
B&I guy. Yeah.
you pulled the biggest joke on him on John Altick's birthday. That sucked.
You were here that day.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah, that was really good. No, yeah, I mean, I must say, like, B&I is probably, well, if it wasn't for B&I and being introduced to that organization, I wouldn't be where even close to being where I am today.
So you feel that's
I feel I wouldn't even be in business. It's just the people, being surrounded by that group of people is truly amazing. And I mean, I can ask for anything better than that.
So what's your perfect referral partner look like? Is it real estate agents, or is it just other business practitioners, or?
Landscapers
Oh,
are,
that's a good one. I
yeah,
didn't think of that.
landscapers are good for me because they keep breaking the heads. Like they,
Landscapers and lawn crews.
yeah,
right?
they keep, sometimes that machine just runs over the head and breaks, and I always hear the homeowners like, the dang old landscapers did it again.
Right.
But realistically, realtors were my number one target from the get-go, because they're dealing with homeowners.
Right.
And homeowners normally have yards, and then from a repair standpoint or installs, or
What would you say do you keep track of the mix of your business? Is it like 60% installs and 40% repairs, or is it 50-50, or?
well, it's depends on which way you're asking. Is on how many jobs or how many calls I get for installs, or
Yeah, would you say you do more install runs or you do more repair runs, or is it just a
no,
very
they
even
yeah,
combination?
the installs are probably about that's a good one. That's about 20%. I would say. I mean, that sounds like a big difference,
Well, no, I
but
would think that
the
a lot of
repair-
people have sprinklers in our area,
It's-
so there's
yeah.
a big need for the service.
I
Right?
get. I mean, in the summertime, I lose my mind with how many phone calls I get. And anxiety kicks in when I can't get to everybody. But normally, when I go to a homeowner's house for a repair, I do it right there. You see my truck. I have normally have everything to do a certain the common repairs.
So how are these people finding you? How do they find Reed Sprinklers to call you? What's your marketing look like?
Facebook. Facebook is really the only thing this whole country boy could figure out, other than networking and word of mouth.
Right. So,
And my truck.
an average homeowner, like somebody maybe down the street from me that you're not connected with Facebook, maybe they're finding your business page, or how are those folks finding you?
Yeah.
Are you still doing some flyers and postcards and things, or not anymore?
No, I haven't done flyers in a while, but it's the Facebook Reed Sprinklers and More. It's the Facebook page, and then I also promote it a lot onto my personal page.
Right. And do you have a standalone website as well, or not necessarily?
No.
It's amazing. I'm finding that. I mean, like if I wanted to look you up or look up a sprinkler company, I would probably go to Facebook and just search there, and almost second using a Google search or something, because you can search it right through your social media channels.
Right, and the power of Facebook is I mean, it's growing and it's taking over.
Well, and a sidebar to that, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was just reading the other day that Facebook is now looking at the telecom industry and probably going to place a giant bid, like millions and millions of dollars, to totally reinvent the telecom landscape throughout the world, so they can connect people in remote places that can't even get to the internet and stuff right now. So I think the next 10 or 20 years, it's going to be kind of crazy.
Yeah, sky's the limit with that, and I've been learning and through my mentor, the B9 Troy had spoken about. He's really shed light on the whole thing and helped me tremendously. And if you go on their Facebook, they teach you. They live videos. They do it for free.
I think I've heard his name before. You said Troy Hitt?
Troy Hitt and Randall Chestnut.
I know Randall. Yeah. I'd like to have Randall on the show here one day.
Yes, that would be. I'd love to be a part of it. I was actually there yesterday and dropped by I was in the area, and I spent about an hour and a half speaking with Randall.
I've not
and
been to
his
his new office yet. He gave me a call. It seems like the first of the year or so.
He's got
a couple months back.
the corner third story. The corner was all windows
Nice.
around there, and but he's the one that influenced me to do that video about my life story and everything to let people inside to who I am.
Tell me a bit about that, because you did mention that pre-show. I wanted to get to that, so that's a good segue to that. So, I didn't see that video. I mean, honestly, I can't catch them all.
It's coming on later today.
Oh, it's not out yet. So,
Yeah.
do you want to talk about it until it releases, or you don't have to?
I'll touch base on it. I mean,
Sure.
I got the bullet points on it. Pretty much, everybody's story is different, and without hearing it, you don't know.
Right.
So, like when I was 8 years old, I was involved in a 4-wheeler accident. I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks, and it really changed my life. But it gave me, after dealing with being handicapped, and I had a speech impediment problem, and my voice is not normal per se, but it's a tremendous change.
Right.
and just everything that I've had to overcome and never fit in type deal. So it was always a struggle, and I always just blew it off, and then finally hit me, and I went in very deep depression through it. And that was right before I started in Reed Sprinklers, and Reed Sprinklers is what brought me through.
I love that story because you know what I'm hearing there is you could have shut down, you could have you know, because it takes anybody has to be a special breed to try to be an entrepreneur, and then to feel like you've had some challenges and still go through. And from what I've seen and understand, Reed Sprinklers have been pretty successful so far in the Northeast quadrant here.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's progressing, and it's got the future looks much brighter per se. But yeah, the whole thing was, I mean, like, I always grew up, like, you know, I had to grow up, you know, doing things or working harder to, you know, overcome, to be, you know, not handicapped and everything, therapy, and just, I guess that stuck with me. I can't remember any of my childhood before my wreck. Yeah, I lost my memory of everything, and but through all in all, like, when I was during my depression and everything like that, right before I started this company, that, like, where I am today, from before this company has started, it's not even feasible to even imagine it back then. Yeah, it's like, it's amazing, truly blessed, and I don't take anything for granted, or I appreciate and respect everything that's given to me.
Well, the takeaway I get from that is you're now building something that's yours, that'll always be yours. And, you know, if someday in the future you're still a young man, if you decide to have a son, you know, it could stay with him, or, you know, you could scale it, grow it, sell it, and then it leaves a legacy for the family. You know, it's one truck today, but it could be a dozen next year or 5 years from now.
Yeah,
so that's really inspiring to me. So tell us, and you've elaborated on it a little, but what's the future look like for your sprinkler company? Do you see more trucks on the road, or?
Yes. Next step from here is to branch out, to get another truck on the road, have that one running jobs, and to relieve, you know, to get past that stepping stone of being that one truck handling it all, and then take that load off me and be able to kill two birds in one stone. Right. But for the overall future, is like you said, I'm building a foundation right now, and to get me to the platform where I can take care of my family. Right. My parents, I mean, if it wasn't for them, you know, I wouldn't have this opportunity. I wouldn't have never done it. And there's, I mean, like, what goes around comes around. I don't know what else to say. It's like, they took care of me, and my goal is to take care of them.
Well, and it's time for you to sow for a few years, sure. And when you're 40, 50, 60 years old and you've established this business really well and scaled it really well, you will be able to provide back for them and again, leave that legacy to your family. So how can we find you? How can folks find Reed Sprinklers if they need? I know we mentioned Facebook, so is that facebook.com/Anthony or Reed Sprinklers?
Yeah, it's just go to Facebook, search, type in Reed's Sprinklers and more. But as soon as you type in Reed's Sprinklers, it's going to be right there, and and you can't miss it because the picture is going to be Reed Sprinkler sign. Right. It makes sense. But it's 832-316-4647. Okay. Here in the Houston area code. So I really haven't seen anything relevantly close to the same name. So
Right.
it shouldn't be that hard if they just simply search it on Facebook. That's the really only answer I have for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheryl, do you have any closing comments for Anthony?
Yeah, I would like to second it that what makes a great entrepreneur are things that we go through in our lives, struggles that we overcome, hardships that we've had to overcome. Those of us that have gone through stuff like that in our lives, that tends to make us even more successful in what we do today because we were able to get through that. So I'm really proud of you for sharing that story. I never knew that about you, and
Thank
very
you.
proud of you for sharing that story. And I commend you highly. You're going to change a lot of lives. I truly believe that you're going to change a lot of lives with your story and your business. I don't think it's just meant to be out there repairing sprinklers. I think there's a whole lot more to it than that, and I'm very, very proud of you.
Do you mind if we share that video around when we see it come online?
Yeah, and Cheryl, I really do appreciate my hairs. To see that it's sticking straight up, I got goosebumps. I've learned to be open.
Yep.
I mean, I'm almost too honest for my own good at times. But it's okay to be vulnerable.
That's right.
Because I mean. And without sharing that story to the folks, I mean, I'm just another guy. But I do appreciate you acknowledging and taking time to listen to it, and whoever listens to this show, I hope y'all find something from it. But like you touched on it, I'm not just trying to dig a trench. There's pictures much bigger.
Absolutely.
Building that platform to have that, be able to help out our communities, such as firefighters, police officers, and military that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah, bring that up, please. I'm sorry I didn't get to that point.
My whole life's been about respect, and I respect the respectable, and the police officers, firefighters, and the military servicemen and women. I came up with a promotion called honorable discount for honorable people. We like to offer a 10% discount off all of our services.
All services, not just installs.
Everything. And so, I mean, 10%. On an average sprinkler system, it's going to be about $200 savings. I know.
Do you know Jim Slack within our network at all?
Who?
Jim Slack.
Not familiar.
We need to get you introduced to him. He's actually a sergeant with Montgomery County. I don't know if it's constables or some kind of. So if you've got a promotion for first responders and police and all that, we need to help you get in front of those people the best we can, and we know a few through our channels here.
I would love to. I would love
so,
that. Yeah.
I mean, we can all feed off each other a little bit that way. Does that include? I don't know why I think of teachers when I think of that, but there's usually special programs for teachers too. Or are you just looking at the first responder types?
And yeah, it really does, because last year, I did a little, trying new things, and I started advertising a promotion through Facebook about teacher appreciation right before school started.
Sure.
It was like month of August and September. It was like that 10%, because it is in the same circle of teachers are in the same group and categories as police, firefighters, and military, because they're serving our community and to help or better people in our community and country overall.
Absolutely.
So it is. I mean, it is definitely in that category, and I need to put it in there.
When you mentioned promotions on Facebook, are you running any Facebook ads at all on your business, or just posting those out to your wall and getting traction that way?
I'm not gonna lie. This, like I said, Facebook is the only thing that I could figure out. I never understood the ad. Haven't done it, but shout out to Spoken About. They're making an ad campaign for me.
Who's that making it?
Spoken About.
Oh, Spoken About. Randall's group.
Randall, Chestnut, and Troy Hitt. They have an amazing team back there behind them. And Troy Hitt's one of my biggest mentors, and I look up to him and learn a lot from him. And he's going to be we're working together on getting that campaign
But
done.
a lot of times you don't have to know how to do the ads and stuff yourself. As our previous guest was just saying, I mean, you can outsource all that kind of stuff now. And I've not seen Randall entirely with his Spoken About group, but I know Randall's a solid guy, so I'm sure he's doing some phenomenal work. I've seen some of the stuff he's doing on Facebook, so that's exciting for you. I'll be looking for those ads to run.
Yeah, that's I highly recommend that. And since the whole thing is, helping other people in our community grow, and that's their whole philosophy. They're helping small businesses gain more customers.
That's why we're here, bro.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's everybody helping everybody. I scratch your back and you scratch mine. I believe in that 100%.
Right. Well, Anthony, I appreciate you being on the show today. It's good to, I've met you a couple times, but to actually sit down and talk to you in a little more detail is really cool. It's cool that we know a lot of people in common. I think that's great. I'm a big advocate of our area out here. I love Houston as a whole, but I can spend as much time in the Northeast quadrant as, you don't always have to drive into town if you don't want to. So again, Reed Sprinklers, we can find you on Facebook, and the telephone again, please.
Yeah, it's Reed Sprinklers and more, and then 832-316-4647, and our company slogan is "We make it rain and make it drain."
Nice. So, and I did want to mention that as well. So you guys do the drain, like French drains and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much you look at a house, anything outside the house, fencing, wood fences, that is, and landscaping. I actually just partnered up with a roofing company as well.
Nice.
An old buddy of mine, and anything outside the house, I can take care of you. If I don't do it personally, I got a
guys
connection.
within your network that can do it.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And Cheryl, how can folks reach you in the real estate or for real estate in the Northeast quadrant?
You can reach me by phone, 281-753-0425, or you can visit my website at www.yourhappyrealtor.com.
Great. Thanks, Cheryl. And Anthony, thanks again for being on the show. I'm the Texas Real Estate Dude from Hustle City, USA, and we are out till next time.